The brave little tailor. Once there was a little tailor. He was sewing day and night. He liked his work, but he wanted an adventure. So one day he was hungry, and he wanted to have some bread with some jelly. He found the jelly. He found a piece of bread. He spread the jelly on the bread, and he hoped that that would be enough to satisfy his hunger. Then he set it aside so that he could sew a few more stitches. While he set it aside, the flies came. "Get away, flies!" But the flies came back. So then he took a piece of cloth and swung the cloth at the flies, and when he looked, 7 flies were dead. Well, he was very proud of himself for this, so he took and he stitched on that piece of cloth 7 dead with 1 blow, and then he put this around his waist as a belt. But he wanted to go on his adventure. All he could find to take with him was a piece of cheese. He put the piece of cheese in his pocket. Then, as he walked along, he saw a bird that was wounded, caught in a thicket. He gently took the bird from the thicket. The bird was injured but not dead. Put the bird in his pocket too. Walked along. Soon he was walking up a hill, even a mountain. As he came to the top of the mountain, there was a giant. "Ha! Who are you?" "Have a look at my belt here. Killed 7 with 1 blow." The giant, of course, thought 7 people. 7 warriors, maybe. I better test this guy. So the giant said, "Watch this." And he took a stone and he pressed the stone so hard that water came from the stone. The tailor then took out of his hand the piece of cheese. The giant thought it was a stone and pressed it very hard, and out came water. Okay, watch this. The giant then took a stone and threw it in the air, and it went so high it seemed to fly away. Then the tailor took out of his pocket the bird and threw it up, and it flew away, far away, but the giant apparently thought it was a stone too. The giant didn't like to lose, so the giant said, "Come with me, I'll take you to my home." And he took the little tailor to a cave where other giants were. And the giant said, "Here, you can sleep in my bed." Now the tailor, small man, decided to sleep in a corner of the bed because he wasn't used to such a big bed. And it's good that he slept in that corner too, because during the night the giants all came with their clubs and hit at the bed, thinking that they were killing the tailor. In the morning the giants went swimming in the river. The tailor got up, because he wasn't killed, he wasn't even hurt, and came walking down to the river. The giants, when they saw him, were terrified and ran away, leaving their clothes behind. But that didn't matter to the tailor. After he had tricked the giants, and the giants had fled, he lay down to sleep, and he slept deeply and long. Some soldiers came along and found him, and read his belt, the belt, 7 dead with 1 blow. And they thought, "Whoa, we better show him to the king." So they woke him up and took him to the king. The king was very impressed and said, "Fight for me and I'll give you a bag of gold." Gave him a bag of gold, but the other soldiers were very disgruntled and unhappy about this. "Oh, you give him a bag of gold and not us? Oh!" So the king decided, "I've got to test you. First, go kill 2 giants that have been bothering me a lot." So the tailor, the little tailor, followed by 100 soldiers, went into the forest. But he told the soldiers, "You wait here." Then he went into the forest. He found the 2 giants lying sleeping under a tree. He climbed the tree, and he started dropping acorns on one of the giants. The giant woke up and hit his friend and said, "Why are you thumping me? I'm trying to sleep. I didn't thump you." And soon they were fighting. They fought and they killed each other. So then the little tailor called the soldiers, and the soldiers came and said, "Wow, 2 dead giants." And the tailor said, "That's nothing to a man who killed 7 with 1 blow." Then they went to look for the wild boar. Yes, there was a wild boar. The king wanted to test him some more, because the king had said, "If you do everything I say, I will marry you to my daughter, and you will rule half the kingdom with me." And the sense of adventure of the tailor is wonderful. So, go capture this wild boar for me. Okay, so only if I can go alone. So the tailor went into the forest. The wild boar, soon he felt the wild boar behind him. He looked, here came the wild boar. The tailor ran into a barn, but ran out the other side through a window. The boar entered the barn, but then the tailor came around and closed the door. The boar was caught in the barn. The king came. "Wow, how did you trick him?" Easy for someone who has slain or killed 7 with 1 blow. Well, the king was happy, but he decided one more test. "You must capture the unicorn that is so violent in my territory." So now the tailor felt confident in his ability to meet the challenges of adventures. So he went into the forest, and soon here came the unicorn charging directly at him with his 1 horn aimed to kill the tailor. At the last second, the tailor jumped out of the way, and the unicorn charged into a tree, and his horn was stuck in the tree. So now the king came along and thought, "Wow, what a guy. It must be that you are a worker of wonders." The king gave up, married his daughter to the little tailor, and the tailor ruled with the king for a while. Tailor was now married to the princess. He was her husband. But one night when he was sleeping, he almost gave his secret away. His secret that he was just a simple tailor who, by wit and cunning, had become almost the king of a kingdom. One night in his sleep he said, "Boy, bring me that waistcoat and fix that and sweep the floor too, or there will be trouble." The princess heard this and ran to tell her father, the king. "I'm afraid, my father, that you have married me to a simple tailor." And so the king said, "Okay, tonight leave the door open. I will send soldiers, and we will get rid of this simple tailor once and for all." But a water bearer of the king overheard the king say this, and the water bearer respected and admired the tailor. In a sense, the water bearer is the hero of the story, because the water bearer told the tailor. And so the tailor thought, "Okay, I will be ready for them." So that night, in his sleep, he was pretending to sleep. He said, "Boy, make my armor, prepare my armor. I'm a great soldier. I have killed 7 with 1 blow. I have killed 2 giants. I have captured a wild boar. I have captured a unicorn. And I'm not afraid at all of soldiers who might be coming for me." Now when the soldiers heard this, they were terrified and they ran away. And so by his wit and cunning and some luck, the little tailor became a king of a kingdom.